What else would be on your syllabus for teaching young men what they should focus on in life and prioritize?
Well, you did this early, but I think fitness, just for mental health, um, getting used to working out early. My dad was in the Royal Navy, and he started me working out when I was like, I don't know, 13, and it just sort of stuck with me. Like I didn't do it a lot till I was 17 or 18, but it just sort of was ingrained in me. I think having a plan, even if that plan changes, always just sort of having a plan. Always be able to say, if someone asks you, what are you thinking you're going to do the next 5 or 10 years? You don't have to stick to it, but I'm planning to go to college and then I'm going to get a degree. When I was 17, I thought I was going to be a pediatrician, and chemistry disabused me of that notion. But always have sort of a plan that you can articulate to somebody. I would say try and this is something I didn't want to do, be more in touch with your emotions. And that is be more honest with people. Tell them when you're upset. Reach out to people, ask for help. When a woman upsets you or a friend upsets you, it bummed me out that you didn't call me back, or you were not nice to me in front of the other guys, and I don't understand why. I mean, there's a certain amount of that pecking order and socialization you need to endure growing up. But I wasn't in touch with my emotions. I didn't tell my mom I loved her until I was much older, and I wish I'd said that more often. I wish that I had told women and romantic partners when my feelings were hurt or how I truly felt about them. I was one of those guys that was never wanted to appear weak or vulnerable, so I would never share my emotions. And I think that screwed up a lot of relationships or diminished them. So be much more in touch with your emotions. Be much more willing to express your emotions.
Why? What's on the other side? What's the positive on the other side of doing that?
Well, there's opportunities to have friendships and relationships. Sometimes people are waiting for you to say, I'm really bummed out that maybe you don't want to be my friend, or that you don't like me as much as I like you. And not only that, there's so few people who are willing to say that at a young age. It demonstrates confidence. And I think people find that really attractive. I mean, and if they don't, that's the wrong kind of person. Also, you go into this kind of funhouse of your emotions and reality where you don't know what's important to you. You start convincing yourself you don't care, or you don't mind, and you never really get informed. My attitude is, when a movie really moves you, ask yourself, why am I inspired by this? And then, because that'll help inform what interests you. When something really upsets you, really lean into the upset and ask, why is it upsetting me so much? And otherwise, you're just sort of walking around with blinders on. You don't know really what's important to you. You don't know who you want to spend time with. So to not lean into your emotions and register them, one, you give up a lot, because you're going to find out later in life, oh, yeah, no, I liked you too. Or no, I would have been friends with you. Or yeah, we were interested in hiring you, but you didn't follow up. You weren't persistent, whatever it might be, right? You should have applied a second time. You should have applied to university the second time, whatever it might have been, right? And also you just miss on the opportunity to feel closer to people and have some sense of what's important to you, what inspires you, what makes you sad. Where, I don't think I ever told someone until I was well into my 30s that something they did upset me. I had this notion that I'm me, big, strong man. I don't get upset at things. Everything deflects off of me. I don't care.
Yeah, I've started working with a therapist over the last few months here in Austin who worked with a friend that's way more fucked up than I'll ever be. So I figured, look, if she can see through his bullshit, she can definitely deal with mine. And there's layers to this. You realize, just even talking about your emotions or being prepared to say them isn't quite the same as actually feeling them fully, having your emotions and your mind rest where your feet are. And there's layers and layers to this that I've realized, especially maybe people that listen to podcasts like mine or yours, who are interested in psychology and human nature and can rationalize or explain away what they're feeling. Oh, that's the negativity bias, or that's the Abilene paradox, or that's, I understand that this is because of it's the bystander effect or some other bullshit, right? Like they've got some mental model that allows them to explain what's going on inside of the. Yeah, James Clear talks about something similar and whatever. And I realized that for a good chunk of people, way more than might like to admit it, that's a protection mechanism. Their ability to rationalize and explain away what's happening inside of their minds gives them an excuse to not have to feel their feelings fully.
I thought of you this last weekend. Did you see what happened with Caleb Williams, the quarterback for USC?
No.
So this kid is probably going to, I think he's probably going to be the Heisman Trophy winner and is probably going to go number 1 in the draft. And he's playing against Washington and he blows it and they're going to lose. The guy breaks down and begins sobbing and immediately runs over to the stands and jumps up and embraces his mother. And his mother puts this notebook over his helmet so that the crowd can't see him crying. And his father comes over and consoles him. And I thought, oh my God, this kid doesn't even realize he has moved masculinity so far forward. And the ability to give into that sort of emotion and do it publicly, so much of this fucked up sense of what it means to be a man is around bearing your emotions. And when you look at suicide rates and how they used to be 3-to-1 male to female, and it's approaching 4-to-1. One of the key components of that is men do never learn how to express they are struggling. And because they're taught from a very early age that real men don't express that sort of upset. So when you see this guy, who's probably the premier quarterback in college football, this really like big, handsome, ridiculously strong guy in front of national TV, jump up into his mother's arms. I mean, it sends such a good signal to young men that it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to be disappointed. I also think that's such a gift you're not a parent yet. You really, as a parent, all you really want, you want 2 things. You want your kids to be happy and successful, but you also want to comfort them. Like any chance you would get as a parent to comfort your child, it's just so rewarding. It's like, okay, I have purpose. And I remember seeing that. Literally the whole nation saw that moment. And I thought that kid unknowingly just moved masculinity forward and just reduced the likelihood or increased the likelihood that a young man is going to have an easier time expressing to a family member or non-family member, I am really upset. And that is key to solving. That is key to getting out of a really, really dark place. And I thought, oh my God, it's such a moving moment. So anyways, Google Caleb Williams and you'll see the video. It's very raw. It's very, very moving. And I thought it was, oh God, I think this kid doesn't realize what a positive role model he is.
Every single morning for over 3 years now, I've started my day the exact same way, which is with Element in water. Element contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio of sodium, potassium, and magnesium, and it is the best hydration drink that I've ever found. It tastes fantastic. It's super refreshing. Orange is just the most OP flavor in the world. It's absolutely phenomenal, and it helps to play a critical role in reducing muscle cramps and fatigue. It regulates your appetite, it optimizes brain health, and it helps curb cravings. They're also the exclusive hydration partner to Team USA weightlifting and relied on by tons of Olympic athletes and everyday high performers all around the world. Also, there is a no BS, no questions asked refund policy where you can buy a box completely risk-free, and if you do not like it for any reason, they will give you a refund during an unlimited duration, and you don't even need to return the box. That's how confident they are that you'll love it. Element are giving away a free sample pack of all 8 flavors with your first box if you go to the link in the description box below or drinklmnt.com/MW. That's drinklmnt.com/MW. What's happening, people? If you enjoyed that, then press here for the full, unedited episode. And don't forget to subscribe.